Aerospace company Boeing is committing millions of dollars to expand manufacturing here in Winnipeg. The company says the $36 million will be used to advance aerospace research and development, including in the fields of automation and collaborative robotics. Boeing already has a presence in Winnipeg. The company manufactures parts and assemblies for commercial and military aircraft, such as the P-8 Poseidon.
A huge money move is changing Canada's aviation future, and it is bigger than just one building. America's Boeing is pouring millions into new work, but this deal could shift where jobs and innovation go across Canada. This means fewer jobs and less growth staying in the United States, and all the potential of Boeing shifting to Canada.
So the funds will be used to purchase the very complex equipment to underwrite the work that we're going to do in the research and development domain. Of course, that will also contribute to the overhead, salaries and the like. Important to note, this is a 10-year relationship, so those funds will help to support the great work we're going to do with the National Research Council over the next decade.
It's not just about Boeing, but think of all of the companies locally that could be involved in this supply chain, and that's where we have groups like NRC working with others to help companies prepare themselves to get in on the opportunity, and all of those companies employ a lot of Winnipeggers as well.
The funding is part of the federal government's wider industrial and technological benefits program, which is supporting some 3,000 jobs over the next 10 years.
Boeing announced a 36 million Canadian dollars commitment to advance composite aerospace manufacturing research and development projects at its Winnipeg facility. Some of the projects will be in collaboration with the National Research Council of Canada. This initiative is part of the Government of Canada's Industrial and Technological Benefits Policy, which selected the CP-8A Poseidon aircraft as its multi-mission aircraft. The Industrial and Technological Benefits Policy, ITB, is the mechanism that connects a federal defense procurement decision to domestic economic activity when Canada selects a foreign supplier for a major military acquisition. The ITB framework requires that supplier to direct investment contracts and business activity back into the Canadian economy proportional to the value of the deal. The CP-8A Poseidon selection activated Boeing's ITB obligations, and Winnipeg is where a significant portion of those obligations are now being directed. Boeing's Winnipeg site, the country's largest aerospace composite manufacturing facility, has been a key contributor to Canada's aviation sector for over 50 years. And this initiative reflects our dedication to the local economy and positions us to meet the growing demand for our airplanes, said Al Meinzinger, president of Boeing Canada. The 50-year timeline Meinzinger reference is not marketing language. Boeing's Winnipeg presence is a structural fixture of Canadian aerospace manufacturing, not a recent arrival. The facility currently produces hundreds of parts and assemblies for every in-production Boeing commercial airplane. In addition to defense derivatives, including the P-8 Poseidon and the E-7 Wedgetail, what the 36 million Canadian dollars commitment adds is a 10-year research and development mandate focused specifically on composite fabrication capabilities, including the development of automated processes and collaborative robotics technologies that sit at the intersection of advanced manufacturing, artificial intelligence integration in production environments. The National Research Council of Canada's involvement in some of the projects introduces a public-private academic dimension to the investment that goes beyond standard facility expansion. The National Research Council of Canada brings deep expertise in advanced materials and manufacturing to initiatives that reinforce Canada's leadership in aerospace innovation, said Mitch Davies, president of the National Research Council of Canada, our Winnipeg Advanced. Manufacturing facility is a hub for collaboration between industry, government, and academia to drive the development of technologies that strengthen the sector, support national priorities, and contribute to Canada's prosperity. The scale of the CP-8 Poseidon program's embedded Canadian content is the context that makes the Winnipeg investment legible. Each of the more than 170 P-8 aircraft in operation globally contains approximately 11 million Canadian dollars worth of Canadian content, contributing to over 2 billion Canadian dollars in contracts with Canadian companies. The CP-8AITB program is supporting approximately 3,000 jobs and adding 358 million Canadian dollars to Canada's economy annually over the next decade. Those figures are not projections for a future state. They reflect the current installed base of Canadian content across P-8 aircraft already flying globally before Canada's own fleet has been fully delivered. The supplier network that feeds into that content figure is broad. The CP8AITB program is bringing significant economic benefits to Canadian organizations, with more than 80 suppliers across the country supporting production. Team Canada Poseidon, which includes Standard Aero, CAE, and GE, Aviation Canada as key partners, forms the structural backbone of the initiative. These are not small domestic suppliers receiving marginal contracts. They are established aerospace companies whose involvement in the Poseidon supply chain represents integration into a global program operating across multiple allied air forces. Doug Yolfson, member of Parliament for the Winnipeg West riding where Boeing's Murray Park Road facility is located, said, "The money announced Friday was significant for the workforce, and the future of the site, it sends a clear message. This expertise here in Winnipeg is valued, and it is competitive on the global stage. This is an announcement that really matters to this community. It is a place that has built a strong reputation in aerospace, and not just across Canada, but globally, and that reputation comes from the people who work here." Manitoba Premier Wab Kinew framed the investment within the province's broader industrial strategy. Manitoba's aerospace sector is a cornerstone of our advanced manufacturing economy, and today's announcement underscores the strength of the talent and innovation found here in Winnipeg. Said Premier Kinew, Boeing's long-term investment will help expand cutting-edge research, create opportunities for local suppliers, and support the highly skilled jobs that drive growth in our province. The federal government's perspective, delivered by Industry Minister Melanie Joly, connected the announcement to the broader objectives of the ITB policy framework. Canada's ITB policy is delivering real economic results. Aerospace manufacturing's partnership with Boeing will boost research and development capacity, create high-quality jobs, and strengthen Canada's defense industrial base investments. Like this, reinforce Canada's industrial strength and position our companies for long-term success, Joly said. The Winnipeg announcement is the most recent in a sequence of Boeing ITB commitments distributed across Canada since the CP8, a Poseidon selection. In June 2025, Boeing Winnipeg opened a new LEED certified freezer, building that doubled the facility's storage capacity and improved operational efficiency to meet future production demands. In early April 2026, Boeing committed $7 million Canadian to VAC Aero International, a Canadian aerospace supplier, with operations in Ontario and Quebec, to fund the purchase of 2 vacuum furnaces supporting heat treatment of tube and duct assemblies critical to multiple Boeing aircraft programs. Boeing has successfully completed over $15.5 billion Canadian in ITB programs in the last 40 years. The composite materials focus of the Winnipeg Research and Development Commitment reflects where Boeing's manufacturing priorities are concentrated at the program level. Advanced composites reduce aircraft weight, lower fuel consumption per flight hour, and extend airframe service life compared to conventional aluminum structures. The parts and assemblies produced at the Winnipeg facility flow directly into commercial programs: the 737, the 787, the 777X, where composite content has been increasing with each successive generation research that advances automated composite fabrication and collaborative robotics in Winnipeg produces manufacturing process improvements that eventually propagate across the entire Boeing production system. The 10-year timeline of the research and development commitment aligns closely with the CP8A Poseidon delivery schedule, which anticipates the first aircraft delivered in 2026, with full operational capability projected by 2033. That alignment is not coincidental. The ITB framework that generated the Winnipeg investment is structured around the duration of the procurement program. It is tied to Winnipeg is not receiving a one-time capital injection. It is being positioned as a composite manufacturing research center across a decade-long development program with direct connections to one of Canada's most significant recent defense acquisitions.